I'm honored to announce the 2020-21 Teacher of the Year, and I'm sad I can't hug her. I hope that in 30 years, I am as in love with my profession and the interactions I get to have with my students as Deborah Menke.
Good morning. I have to put this down. Thank you so much for this honor. With all we've been through in 2020, it feels uncomfortable that one person, me, is accepting this honor. I think it's fair to say that this past year, we're all Teachers of the Year. While I may represent you, I know that since March, you have worked out challenges that you never expected, and you've been called on to do it again this year. You rock. All summer, I've struggled with what I wanted to share with you under these circumstances. What words and what support could I possibly offer as we move forward? We're a group of people who pride ourselves on dedication to our students, careful planning, and meticulous organization. What we've been used to and taken pride in the past has changed. Every year brings new challenges. This year will be no exception. There were many false starts to writing this message. Everything I started went nowhere. Nothing seemed to honor you, the people who did so much hard work these past months. Focusing inwards on myself and my personal thoughts wasn't helping. So I decided to look outward. I decided that listening might be fruitful. Humans love to talk. We are built with the capacity to share, and many of us love to share ideas. We all really just want to have our voices heard and to be validated, maybe now more than ever. You learn a lot by asking questions and being quiet. I started conversations with trusted friends, some former students, and even some strangers. I asked them to tell me about their school experience. It was general. The conversation was always started with no expectations. I heard about the worst experiences, and I heard about the best experiences, and the experiences that really shaped the person and moved them forward. What happened in a person's schooling that impacted them? A well-liked teacher was almost always mentioned. I worked to make connections and find commonalities. The worst experiences for everyone were always tied to the feeling of shame. Something happened, academic, social, emotional, it didn't matter. Perhaps the person I was listening to had been put in the spotlight, or perhaps they were seeking help in the best way they could, and the response from a teacher had made them feel shame. Interestingly, the adults who shared with me were able to reflect back and felt that teacher had tried to use shame as a motivator. For whatever reason, that teacher at that particular time felt that shaming the student might make them work harder or better or be more invested, and it never worked. It never motivated anyone I talked to achieve. In fact, it led to the opposite. Once shamed, it shut the person down. It made them small. A great voice was lost. When the people I listened to shared their best experiences, the connections were not as clear. Happily, people like to talk about their good experiences more than their bad ones. It seemed everyone I listened to had thrived in a different type of school experience. Some liked individual projects, some liked group projects, some liked independent work, some liked group work. Some wanted to have fun, others just wanted to write a paper. Some liked when the teacher was strict, some liked when the teachers were relaxed. Each person seemed to have a different view of what made a great experience. Moving a person forward happened in many different ways. There was definitely not a one-size-fits-all experience. I had to really focus to tie things together. I started to realize that it wasn't demeanor or the subject or an extroverted personality. The common thread of beloved teachers that had influenced students the most was setting up learning situations where that person felt challenged, safe, and also completely capable. Each teacher had helped the student develop a sense of self-efficacy. Self-efficacy is the belief a person holds regarding their own power to affect a situation and affect their own learning. It puts the learner in control and makes the learner believe that they are capable of learning. Self-efficacy is built on human interaction. The teacher didn't do the work. The teacher didn't demonstrate and expect the student to mimic back. The teacher set up a situation of trust and left the student feeling they could do the work on their own. Each student had developed self-efficacy, that complete belief within oneself of being capable. The teachers had supported the students, but also released control of the learning to the students. The teacher fostered independence. The lesson was set with guidance, but not intrusion. The beloved teachers listened without judgment. They validated the person for who the person was. They recognized the students for the students' own ability to grow. They didn't tell the students what to do. They trusted the student was capable of making their own best decisions, and then they were there to support them. 5 years ago, I was lucky to visit Framingham, Massachusetts, and see a learning platform being used in that district. I was lucky enough to witness the power of self-efficacy. A young girl had been assigned to show me the platform on her computer, and we sat out in the hallway and she explained the ins and outs. It was complex, and it was really difficult for me to see or even imagine how the whole thing fit together. So to try and better understand, I asked her some questions. Would she ever want to go back to regular instruction? Or was she happier on this learning platform that gave her lots of opportunities to do and redo work? Her answer still sticks in my heart. She said, I used to think I wasn't smart in school. I used to think everyone was smarter than me, but now I see it differently. It takes me more time to understand a lot of things we learn. Sometimes I have to do the work over and over, but I always learn it. I know I can learn anything. Self-efficacy. Since that experience, I've made some major shifts in my own classroom and instruction. I've tried to move the instruction from being mine, what I've been doing in the formative years of my teaching, to theirs, a place where students take over the responsibility of learning. I make a conscious effort to let go of control of the lessons. I started to see lessons as groundwork that focused on student discourse and discussion. I focused on the idea that it's the student's job to learn, that all the students can learn, and that everyone contributes something. I pulled back from a lot of telling and a lot of demonstrating. I just started asking a lot of questions, and then I just listened. My classroom became a very different place. While students can understand and perform when they're told what to do, it's clear that true internalized learning comes when students create their own understanding of an experience. When they believe they can do something and it comes from an internal place within themselves, they can. I went from being a teacher, gatekeeper of knowledge, to a facilitator, guide of student teaching and learning. And in that shift, I hope I've created for the students a place where self-efficacy develops. A lot has changed since we left school 6 months ago. We're still in a pandemic. A different social climate calling for greater equality and social justice has emerged. How will we teach? How will we be responsive to student needs? What practices can we implement to make sure all students believe they can grow and succeed? How will we craft learning opportunities where constructive conversations can happen? And how do we make sure those conversations treat everyone with dignity and respect? How do we develop student self-efficacy, that belief that they, the students, can learn things and they are capable of learning on their own with just our guidance? Because at some point this year, there's the chance that they will be without us, at least face to face. Our 2020 school year begins with many challenges, but I believe we can do what it takes. And I hope we help students see they are capable. I have to end by thanking so many people. Gina, for your kind opening remarks. It's been wonderful to get to know you, and I value our new friendship. To Jeff and Marlene, to Gina, Kelly Lenz, Kristen Pells, Scott Jeffrey, for listening to me and believing I best represented us in this crazy year. Kelly Lenz and Marlene, thank you for all your support this summer. Kelly Grillo, you know I love you. You know I love Norton School, and you know I think we are the best school. And I want to thank the entire Norton staff. And if we were all together here, I would make you stand and I would make everyone give you applause, because I know there's not one person on our staff who is not equally worthy of this honor. I know I hide in the basement and I don't come up, but I do see what you do every day, and you are amazing. We are amazing, and we make a difference. To the people who let me listen to your school experiences, to Lisa, to Gina, to Ava, Emma, Abby, Ella, Bennett, Linda, Kelly, Kristen, Connor, and Whitney, you helped me solidify the idea that we all really want to grow. We want to know we are capable. We all seem to want to know that someone believes we are capable. That makes us believe we are capable, and then we are. To my sisters, Linda and Kathy. Kathy's the nurse at Norton, so I get to be with her every day. I love you, and I'm so thankful every day for our life on the Ponderosa, and I wish Mom and Dad were here. Thank you to Steph and Kara on my team, and Carol, if you're listening, you're on my team too, and I love you. You get me through each day. And lastly, I have to thank Dan and Natalie, Elena and Dave, Olivia and Sam, who all called me or texted me the morning I was being interviewed. You are my most important people, and you made me believe in myself. All of my belief in myself and my own self-efficacy comes from being with you every day. I hope everyone has an amazing year. Believe in yourself and do great things. Thank you.